3. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I am your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from the Smut Studio in rainy, coronavirus-filled Venice Beach, California, with my co-host, Joey No Chill Prano.
Yeah, I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back. How was it without me? I know Maddie Goldberg did the show. Is everything good?
I mean, Maddie, you talk about the Ruther curse. Maddie comes back and the whole damn world shuts down.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you guys did the show, and literally everything happened right after that.
It was wild.
And before we get too deep into it, Andy, we need to talk about something. I need to get serious here for a minute.
Okay, go for it.
We've downplayed some things on the show in the past. And I think we have to cover it now. There's a severe problem out there. There is a virus that is crippling a major part of the world. Bill O'Brien's still the GM of the Texans. What the fuck is going on?
Wild.
Why? I mean, can we do something? Is there some sort of way we can quarantine him away from his phone? Is there a way, I don't think Bill O'Brien should be around old people. I don't think Bill O'Brien should be out in public.
He shouldn't be around young people either.
I don't think, I think if Bill O'Brien touches people, there is a chance that they could also become the world's biggest fucking dipshit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I thought there wasn't going to be sports news. I tweeted this from the plane. I thought we were going to be struggling, and then free agency opened. And Bill O'Brien proved why some people have to go out and buy 300 rolls of toilet paper. Because that guy can't wipe his own ass. Guy can't wipe his. Does somebody wipe Bill O'Brien's ass for him?
You know what Bill O'Brien? You know what he thinks he is? This is my take on it. When you see a trade like today, a mind-boggling, a baffling trade, my mindset is he thinks he's like Bill Belichick.
When he has one double-digit win season at any level of coaching football ever.
But that's my point. Is you kind of see
he didn't win 10 games at Penn State.
I think he has one playoff win, if I'm correct. You see him doing this.
I think they have two. They won one this year, didn't they?
Did they win this year?
Or did
they did.
Yeah.
They did.
So they have two.
So he has two.
Because he beat fucking Connor Cook one year.
He is 2-4 in the postseason.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's 2-4. But my point is, he was a coach under Belichick for a minute. Obviously, Belichick knows how to. Belichick does moves like this, where you question him, but then you also say, "Hey."
Actually, Bill Belichick doesn't do moves like this.
Yeah, good point.
Bill Belichick's never traded a top 4 player at a skill position for essentially a second-round pick and the coronavirus-filled corpse that was once David Johnson.
Yeah. It's a shot to David Johnson.
Well, I mean, David Johnson's last good season, Obama was in office.
Yeah. It's a good point. It's been a minute. Is this one of the worst trades you've seen?
Yeah, it is. It makes zero sense whatsoever. I'm just going to, I hate to say I told you so. And you know what my favorite part of this one is, Andy? The Texans fan. You know I have a mind like a steel trap when it comes to trolls. All of the Texans fans that used to do battle with me over the years are long gone. They have deleted their accounts long ago. Texas Boy 35 has disappeared from the internet. I think your boy Andrew Boggs is still out there, but I blocked him a long time ago. I wonder what he thinks. He's probably like, "Oh, David Johnson, comeback player of the year."
Do you think Texas fans, shall I say, or Houston fans in particular, feel cheated?
I got to say, I think that Bill O'Brien should be in the hallway of the Astros clubhouse when they return, and they should be able to beat Bill O'Brien with a stick to alert pictures.
Like a trash can.
Because he is a goddamn dumpster.
Yeah, that's a good point. I need a Photoshop of that. So this was the actual deal. The Texans will receive David Johnson, a 2020 second-round pick, and a 2021 fourth-round pick, while the Arizona Cardinals will receive DeAndre Hopkins and a 2020 fourth-round pick. To remind people, to bring it back just a year earlier, when the Giants traded Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns, they got a first and second-round pick. So it's players on the same level. You can obviously see a huge discrepancy into what each team received when they traded their star wide receiver.
It's basically so they swapped fourth-round picks.
Yes.
Right? The Giants, you said before, got a first and a second-round pick.
Correct.
Right? So the Texans did get a second-round pick. So basically you're saying, if you're Bill O'Brien, that David Johnson is a first-round pick.
What? Can you?
David Johnson, running back in the NFL, where the going rate for a running back is like 5 good years.
Yeah.
It's been 4 good years since he fucking had a good year.
Can we look that up? Can you do me a favor? Can you look up David Johnson? When's the last time he had a good productive year?
2016.
2016 was the last time. He's been in the league since 2015. 2016 was his breakout year. He ran for 1,200 yards and 16 touchdowns, and he's done absolutely nothing ever since.
In fact, I believe I saw a stat that he has basically the exact same stats in 2017, 2018, and 2019 combined as he had in 2016.
Because
he had like 15 touchdowns and 1,200, and 2,100.
He had an injury.
All-purpose yards. Yeah.
So here's the thing on these running backs, and I know By
the way, good. I have no hatred toward David
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah, no, me either. But my thing, and I stood by this because a lot of people were questioning today. You see, not that I don't want to move on from this whole Texans debacle, but I do kind of want to. We're going to discuss a lot of the NFL free agency. A lot of people are questioning why Ryan Tannehill got paid before Derrick Henry. Obviously, Derrick Henry is the main guy in the Titans offense. But here's why, guys. David Johnson's the prime example. Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell. You can be a great running back for a couple years, and that's what Derrick Henry's doing right now for the Titans. But I'll tell you what, the quarterback is still the most important position. And once these guys get injured, because you can't handle the workload. We agree, right? Mm-hmm. You can't handle the workload year in and year out the way someone like Derrick Henry is handling it. It's just too much wear and tear on the body. So I just want to bring it to Ryan Tannehill because a lot of people are questioning why he made all that money. And I'm not saying he deserved it or didn't. What the market said it at, he made $64 million guaranteed.
Well, let me just, since you brought it up, I know we've got rug nugs and we've got tug nugs.
Yeah.
I don't know what no chill nugs or fixia nugs.
No chill nugs good. It's got alliteration.
Yeah. But how about this tweet from Paul Hempakidis? No idea who you are. I'm going to go. Let's just look at who. Producer for Get Up ESPN.
Okay. So it works for ESPN.
Derrick Henry in 2019. Marcus Mariota at QB, 69.3 rushing yards per game, 3.6 yards per rush, 4.2 first downs per game. Ryan Tannehill at QB, 130.8 rushing yards per game, 5.8 yards per rush, 6.3 first downs per game.
Wow.
Derrick Henry did not make Tannehill great. Tannehill made Henry great. That's the tweet.
Interesting.
So
that's a great fact right there.
First of all, it's a fantastic tweet from Hempakidis, whoever you are. Shout out to him. But Derrick Henry has certainly, not just this year and not just the end of this year where he came on, proven that he has this ability. He has had huge games.
He's a beast.
He has had huge games. And this isn't necessarily I don't necessarily agree with the statement Tannehill made Henry, Henry didn't make Tannehill, but I do agree with the obvious and blatantly obvious to anybody who knows the game of football. It starts with the quarterback.
Well, yeah, and that's
it's not about Tannehill. It's about the fact that they got a quarterback that was running their system in a way that just made it go, and it allowed Derrick Henry to excel.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not I'm not rah number one Ryan Tannehill, but it does. It always starts with the quarterback, and that's a great stat, and that's a great tweet. And actually, if you look at Tannehill's now he's the 7th highest paid quarterback. They were a half away from possibly making it to the Super Bowl. So my argument would be the team clearly likes him, right?
Yeah.
The players.
Yep.
They excelled under Tannehill. I personally, where the market is at, I have no problem with the Ryan Tannehill.
Well, okay, I'm not the biggest Ryan Tannehill fan either, but there's a couple reasons why I don't hate the deal, and that is, again, you say the market. It's not just the market. It's the guys who are getting paid that set the market. He's the 7th paid quarterback. He's just ahead of, like, the extended Kirk Cousins. Goff's ahead of him. Wentz is ahead of him. Like, there are guys, it's like there's holes with every single one of those. Goff's a medium pizza. Wentz is injury prone. Kirk Cousins has beaten a good team 5 times in 8 years in his career.
I like that by the way, not to cut off your rant, I like that we just say Goff. He's just a medium pizza. Like,
if you don't know what that means, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. Search medium pizza. Go back, watch the YouTubes and whatever.
We'd like to rate quarterbacks by pizza sizes.
Yeah. Also, just like no red-blooded American man that has hair on his balls or his chest orders a medium pizza. You don't pay a medium pizza $178 million, whatever the fuck he got.
Also, while we're off topic, we have a great name in the YouTube comments. Like your Tug Nugs. How about Pray Nugs?
Pray Nugs. I was
Courtesy of
thinking
Jesus.
No Chill Pills too.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm handing out my meds.
No chill pills. I like it.
We got a lot of options.
By the way, I love.
So yeah, and sorry. While we're still on Tannehill, I just want to say I agree with you. The market, it's like within the context of the market, it's fine. The other thing I will say about Ryan Tannehill, and again, I'm not a Ryan Tannehill fan. Sometimes I think it's important for a quarterback to be like, if a quarterback is a game manager like Ryan Tannehill was for the Titans, almost accepting that and being that gives you a better chance of success than somebody who thinks they are better than they are. Kirk Cousins has never been a game manager. And Kirk Cousins, the idea that the Vikings extended Kirk Cousins, I was almost as shocked, surprised, and offended as the Hopkins trade.
Well, let me play devil's advocate with the Cousins thing. So they extended him 2 years, $66 million. You're running the Vikings.
Yeah.
What's the owner? Ziggy Wolf? Isn't that his name?
Okay.
You're the owner of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
What's your play?
If
you get rid of Kirk Cousins.
Oh, but why am I getting rid of Kirk Cousins? Why? I didn't. This is the same thing that I argued with Tug with last year. Why did Jacoby Brissett need to be extended? Why does Kirk Cousins need to be extended? Kirk Cousins is going to hold out before the last year of his contract, where we made him the highest paid quarterback in football, and he won a fucking single playoff game?
Well, I'm going to follow up your no-chill pill with a rug nug. Saw this on the NFL Network today, who, by the way, shout out, is crushing the free agency stuff in the middle of all this pandemic. They said this: in the last 7 years, Kirk Cousins has made the most guaranteed money of any player in the NFL.
Yeah, because they kept tagging him, they kept tagging him, they kept tagging him. Then he got a fucking huge deal. He got the number one. So let me ask you something.
That's crazy.
Let me ask you something. If you gave that deal to Kirk Cousins and Kirk Cousins performed the way Kirk Cousins has, and he holds out, I go, hold out for what? Take your shit and fucking go. We're never doing a deal with you before this year. Go fuck yourself. How dare you hold out? How fucking dare you hold out? Like, he doesn't need to be extended. He's made the most money of anybody in football in the last 7 years. He's not going to play for what? Fear of getting injured this year? and having his livelihood taken away with him for having his $190 million in the bank for being a trash? No. You want to fucking hold out? Take your you're not holding out. You're leaving. Goodbye. Have a good day. For that reason, I'm out. If you're going to hold out, if you're Kirk Cousins and you're even going to if you get the H out and hold out, I'll go goodbye. So why do we have to extend? If you're a Vikings, why are you extending Kirk Cousins? Oh, we're extending him because we actually, in doing that, we freed up cap space because we reworked his deal. Go fuck yourself. You're also, in reworking his deal and freeing up cap space, tying yourself to Kirk Cousins for 2 more years, which, spoiler, isn't a good idea. So take your cap space argument and go fuck yourself.
What's Joe's F-bomb counter at in this show, Nick?
Have not been counting.
He's at least 25, aren't you?
Well, I mean, we have Bill O'Brien trading Hopkins, and we have Kirk Cousins getting extended. I mean, I'm all for you going, with the Catholic episodes, but I mean, DeAndre Hopkins was traded for David Johnson, and Kirk Cousins got an extension on a contract that he shouldn't have gotten in the first place.
Can we go back to that real quick? We did not even discuss Arizona. I also saw that they do, this is all simulation stuff, but I also saw on NFL Network, the early simulation predicts this, and I don't know how they do this. It's all computer stuff.
Well,
right?
It's going to be how they play the season, so you better get used to it.
Well,
Dayton is the NCAA basketball champions.
They are?
Didn't you hear that?
Congrats.
They did a simulation.
Yeah.
Dayton.
Finally something from Ohio won.
What are they? The Zips? The Flyers?
The Dayton Flyers.
Flyers?
The Zips. It's the Akron.
The Akron Zips.
So they predict that Texas
Dayton NCAA basketball champions and well known for having smoke shows.
Oh yeah.
For chicks. That's what I've heard.
I thought you were going to say arguably the best comedian of all time.
Well, I mean, Chappelle lives outside of Dayton, but he didn't go to Dayton. Did he go to Dayton?
No.
No, he went to some.
But he grew up there a lot, too.
He didn't go anywhere because he started doing comedy at 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I just hear they pump out just hot ass. Just the rumors. Hearsay.
You're unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. What I do know is that the prediction is that the Texans, and they say this is very rare for one player being traded, are predicted to already lose one last game, whereas the Arizona Cardinals are projected to win 1.2 more games. Again, I know
that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a huge swing.
And that's what they said.
Yeah.
When they were going over this, they go, guys, this doesn't sound like much. It's 1-1. But they said rarely, because the NFL has 22 players in the field, rarely does one player trade decrease or increase a team's win total by a whole game.
Yeah. In a 16-game season.
Exactly. Soon to be 17. By the way, amongst all this.
That, by the way, just to put it in context for people who are like baseball, the WAR thing, that's 10 wins above replacement in WAR. You know what I mean? For 162-game seasons, that's 10 games.
Yeah. We didn't even discuss the collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah. Dude, we thought we were going to have sports. We were talking about doing Tom Cruise Day Tuesday. We got so much sports.
I wasn't worried. And for the record, I want to side note to that, to anybody listening, watching on YouTube. Guys, we're professionals. I'll just be cocky and arrogant for a minute. We don't need a rundown. We have a rundown. Joe and I have been doing this for 6 years. We don't need guests. We don't really need segments. We can talk about whatever, and it will go places. So I just want to let everybody know. And
what are you letting people know? We're here. We're here.
Well,
we're not going anywhere.
I'm letting people know that we're gifted and talented enough, especially you and I together as a duo, that we don't need basketball.
They're like thunder and lightning. Gifted and talented.
Yeah, but that's my point.
Gifted, talented. The two-headed backfield.
God damn it, Joe!
This is gifted and talented.
I'm talking about. I can't just even get through my spiel.
I know. I'm saying even your spiels go places. Look at this riff.
My point is this. We don't need guests. We don't need edited segments.
We don't even need sports.
No, yeah. we'll be here. We're literally not going anywhere. So I just want to let everybody know that. And I actually want to ramp
Were
up.
there people that were like, "Oh, that's it for the dirty sports"? Like, were there people that did think we were going elsewhere?
There are people out there that have a lack of faith, or maybe lack of faith in these shows that they listen to. Hop on board the dirty sports train. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is we can talk about whatever.
Yeah.
We can riff about whatever. We did 20 minutes a couple years ago on Gary Coleman. I'm just saying we can go places.
And we will again.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise Day Tuesday is coming back.
And by the
They've
way,
been pumping out Tom Cruise movies on basic cable lately.
I don't want to sidebar this because we're talking NFL free agency, but I have to with Nick here on my right. We did watch the first 2 Back to the Futures.
Oh, turn him up.
Yo,
He's on.
What's the review?
okay. Well, great movies.
Well,
See,
They're great movies. I'll start with that. There's a few problems I have, especially with 2.
well, yeah.
There's a lot of problems with 2.
Sure.
First of all,
We'll start with one. Start with one.
One was good. My only problems with it is that for someone who's watching this who didn't grow up in the 80s, a lot of the humor is tailored toward 1985 children, and some of the jokes can kind of go over your heads. Additionally, it's one of the most predictable movies I've ever watched in my life. Calling things out left and right. How many things did I call out to you that actually happened? Lots of things. A lot of predictability, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it was an engaging movie that kept my attention. And as Ruther said,
there was like 30 years where like the good guy always won, right? Like in Hollywood, like there was like a 30-year run where it was just every movie ended with like how you thought it was gonna end.
Of course. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it was an engaging, 2-hour movie that didn't feel like 2 hours. It felt like it went by in maybe an hour and a half, And when that happens, you can tell that it was written in a way that kept my attention. And it like Andy said to me during the movie, we forgot about this whole coronavirus thing. It took us away from that. And that's what I think we need in these times, because there's so much, scare tactics going on right now. Everyone's
we'll come back
freaking
to
out.
coronavirus later. Don't worry.
But things like that, it helps. Also, in Back to the Future too. Why did they
Hold on. Finish one on 0 to 10 scale. You can use half points, no quarter points. 0 to 10 scale.
I'm giving it a solid 8.5.
Right, pretty much where it belongs.
Yeah.
It's not an Oscar-winning movie. 9s to 10s should be things that are like, but 8.5. Solid blockbuster.
I don't get these people who are on IMDb. It's like it's ranked the 10th best movie of all time or something like that. Get out of here.
Well, so the 10th will, the IMDb's and the Rotten Tomatoes and the stuff like that. It's, like, if you're overwhelmingly, if people overwhelmingly enjoy it, it's gonna be really high.
Yeah.
So people can be like, I didn't fucking love it, but I liked it, and that like push you up, because a lot of movies, and Back to the Future, not one of them, a lot of movies, no matter how good it is, people go like, I didn't like it, and I didn't like it for this reason. And it's hard to find people that just don't like Back to the Future.
I do want to bring up something. I know I had watched all 3 movies probably about 3 years ago, but you do pick up on things. What I love about going
3 is hot garbage.
Well, we're okay. Nick and I are going to watch 3 tonight.
Okay. I mean, they didn't need a 3, but it's like, okay, fine.
I think 3 is actually better than 2. But maybe I could change that tonight. I will say this about Biff and this movie, and Nick knows where I'm going with this. I mean, we already knew this, but now, especially I have not watched this since post Me Too. He's just a rapist. Like,
right.
He is a straight up rapist character. It's wild.
Not to mention a murderer.
Did you need Me Too for that?
No, I didn't need Me Too for that. I'm saying I knew he was a rapist, but now, like, post Me Too, you're like, wow.
And then when you watch 2, he's also Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they like, and this has been mentioned a million times, but like, when you watch it, you almost are like,
well, they were doing
they
that.
had to do it on Trump.
Well, they were, because with the casino named
Right.
Biff's,
Right.
Biff's Tower versus Trump Tower, the big chested women, all that sort of thing. Yeah, that's a good point.
And 2, why did they have to go they go to the future to solve the problem. Why can't they just go back to 1985 or whatever and leave a note to try to save the storyline? I don't want to give too many spoilers, but
You're allowed to give spoilers to fucking Back to. You're literally the only person that hadn't seen it.
They
What are you
go
talking about?
back.
Who are you spoiling this for?
Well, I know my boy Matt Olstein, who I play Xbox with, Dirtball,
Of course.
Vancouver. He hasn't seen it either.
Well, then he can go fuck himself.
Okay.
Well,
anyway.
hold on. Let me hop in there. Guys, get off your Xbox and watch some classic movies. Put down the goddamn. I'm gonna turn.
Andy hates this.
Well, I'm gonna turn boomer on you guys. Put down the damn Xbox.
I mean, could you? I just like.
I mean,
There are some things where it's just absurd. Like
it's
somebody
offensive.
tuning out to the Dirty Sports podcast right now because we say Darth Vader is Luke's father. You know what I mean? It's like, what? You guys can't be spoiling things. Okay, tell me your problem with 2.
They go to the future to, get Marty McFly's son out of jail or whatever. Why do they have to go to the future for that? Why do they have to go back to 1985 to bring Marty to the future to save this from happening? Why can't they in episode 1 or movie 1, they go back to 1955 and then Marty writes a note to prevent things from happening? Why can't they just do the same thing? Why do they have to go to the future to prevent a problem that they can easily be fixed in, 1985?
But they explain that in the first one. They explain. Remember, that's why he rips up the note. He's like, because you can't fuck. Now, obviously, he puts
knowing
it
about the future.
He puts it back together, and that's what blah blah blah.
If it's so dangerous to know about your future, why are they going to the future in the first place? I don't know.
I feel like they always do. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't watched 2 in a while, but I feel like those questions that I always had in the movie, and I'm sure there are some where there are holes, but I feel like those questions in the movies, they always do a hint at some point why.
Look, dude, I'll say this much. I'll say this much about Back to the Future 2. If you're going to watch it, my advice is to eat an edible. My mind was going, wow, like places during that. Because you're like, wait, he's in the future, but he's in the false reality future because of what he did in the past. I was like, my mind can't take this anymore.
And they got the different versions,
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you're saying he goes to the future, then they come back to the present, and then it's different because they changed. Yeah.
And Christopher Lloyd
is incredible.
Is incredibly great with his comedic acting and timing. Yeah. I mean, he is so good.
Christopher Lloyd's great in everything. Christopher Lloyd's great in Taxi. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Like
he's great in Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
he's the judge.
Yeah.
All right, so that is our movie reviews with Back to the Future. And we're going to watch Back to the Future 3. I see in the YouTube comment sections, people want us to do some movie reviews. I'm all for that.
Movie reviews?
Like, we watch movies live and comment on them.
The only problem with that is, and I've done that, is we can't play the audio.
Also, we're watching a movie. Like, if you want to watch a movie, you have to enjoy it. You can't be talking
Precisely.
over it.
So here's the thing. I have done Tom's Cruise Day Tuesday, where I watched Top Gun, Days of Thunder, but I've seen Top Gun 200 times. First of all, I can watch Top Gun without the sound on, and I can do every word. And 2, what I would do at home, which would be very difficult to do here, although maybe Nick could figure out with like a fucking headphone, is I would put on headphones so that I could hear the movie, but so then the movie wasn't playing on the audio of the thing that you were listening to, of our broadcast.
Yeah.
But that being said, again, we could do classic movie rewatches, but we're not I can't watch a movie for the first time and talk about it.
Yeah.
I could watch Tom Cruise movies and fucking talk about it because
you know them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point Break we did, Blue Crush we did, for the Kooks.
Sure.
We've done this. So we can make it work, but it'll have to be classic 100-watch type of films.
Well, we have a lot we can do. Again, who knows what's going to happen with all this quarantine and coronavirus stuff. And we should get back to some sports stuff.
Yeah.
But before we do that, Joe, I think everybody is going to be under quarantine. They're going to be looking a little straggly, both on their face and down below. The Dirtballs need to make sure they're still taking care of their junk.
Honestly, you don't really have to worry about taking care of your face anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about taking care of, your junk is the only thing you have to worry about when you get those quarantine and chills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
You can keep a crazy quarantine beard. You can keep crazy quarantine hair. But a chick could be like, oh, cool, playoff beard, cool quarantine beard. But you're not trying to have a a playoff beard in your pants.
No. Guys, if you're listening to this podcast right now, I want you to take a second and look down. When was the last time you shaved your junk? It's been a while. Don't lie. I know some of you guys are sick little fucks out there. Let's take a second to thank our sponsor, Manscaped, for holding you accountable to get rid of the funk and shave your junk. What I love about Manscaped is now they have the Lawnmower 3.0. It's out, and it will keep your junk looking nice and fresh during your quarantine and chill. Guys, I love Manscaped. Subscribers get a new replacement blade when you refill your lawnmower trimmer delivered to your door for every 3 months, okay? This is what I love. You don't have to leave your house. In fact, you legally aren't supposed to leave your house in a lot of cities. Don't worry, because Manscaped has you covered. They will send it right directly to your house. For a limited time offer, subscribers get not one, but 2 free gifts. The Shed Travel Bag, which we both have, valued at $39, and a patented high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped boxer briefs. It's the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with code DIRTY at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Once again, get 20% off and free shipping with code DIRTY. Can you put that in the comment section, Nick, please?
I got to add to that, Andy.
Let me finish the ad read real quick.
Please.
So get 20% off and free shipping with the code DIRTY at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use promo code DIRTY. Your partner, your body, and your balls will thank you.
I like that you had to finish the ad read by just doing the same thing 4 times. But I'm glad that you did the promo code 4 times, because I love Manscaped, because you don't have to groom yourself every day. But I do love that they've got like the spray deodorant, the cream, all the stuff. There are things from Manscaped that I do use every day. Little spritz,
yeah,
you know?
The Crop Reviver.
Yeah, the Crop Reviver. Little spritzy spritz, I call it.
Little spritzy
little
spritz.
Dick spritz.
Little dick spritz. I love that. Okay, we got tons of free agency stuff, Joe. I think, where do you even want to start?
I don't know. Where do you want to start? I keep getting alerts on my phone that I keep thinking are like, they have the CBS Sport like siren alert emoji. I keep thinking it's a big deal, but
well, look, do you want to go through CBS what they have deemed their top 100 free agents?
Sure. I mean, let's just start heading down the list.
Because I can do that. I can do CBS Sports top 100 free agents. They have number 1 Dak Prescott, and he is he's been tagged, franchise tagged.
Oh, Cowboys franchised him, so that would leave Cooper as a free agent, because it was going to be one of the 2 of them.
They're going to re-sign Cooper too. They're going to make it work. So Dak is going to get about 31 mil.
And let me say something about Dak Prescott, because I have seen some shit out there. And, you know, get your money, get whatever. Everybody knows that I've called out the NFL for the blatant racism when it comes to the Colin Kaepernick thing. But I saw a Jalen Rose tweet, and I even replied to it. And I never reply to tweets like that, ever. I've never once replied to something. But Jalen Rose said, you know, I forget who it was, but this person Tannehill gets this money, and Goff gets this money, and so gets this money. What is it about Dak, ... or what does Dak have to do? Insinuating that Dak isn't getting paid because he's black, and the rest of these guys are. They offered Dak $30 million. They offered him a long-term contract for $30 million, and he didn't take it. Spoiler, Dak Prescott, not worth $30 million a year. What he has to do to get paid, accept the way overvalued offer that they already made him. So I love calling out racism where racism exists. Dak Prescott did not get signed because he's black. He did not get signed because they offered him $30 million and he turned it down.
But I like, if I'm a Cowboys fan, I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not ready to give Dak a long-term deal yet. I like, hey, he's still young. He's still developing. Let's see where Dak goes.
I'm all for using the franchise tag And honestly, I'm all for using the franchise tag to overpay somebody even because I'd rather overpay somebody once
Short term, yeah.
than I'd rather super overpay somebody for 1 year than really overpay them or like even slightly overpay them over the long term.
Yeah.
Because honestly, teams then a lot of teams refuse to admit they're wrong and then they're hampered with this guy that that didn't work out, but they refuse to move on from him. And I'm all for it. Obviously, the last couple years we've had guys who have basically said no to the franchise tag and said they're not playing on it and refused to play. But also, not too many of those worked out.
Yeah.
So I'm all for even overpaying a guy. Like the Giants use their franchise tag day, and everybody's killing them for doing that. And it's like I'm fine with overpaying for 1 year. Fuck it, go for it.
Yeah. I agree. Tom Brady. Let's talk him.
So let's just go down this because I know we're not going to do it for everybody, but the top 5 or 10, it's like Chris Jones tagged by the Chiefs. Drew Brees is going back to the Saints on some sort of deal. Tom Brady. Tom Brady is now left with everybody's like saying, and it's all these sources that like he's left with this team, but like he could still go anywhere. I mean, there's still 4 or 5 teams he could go to.
I don't know how at this point he doesn't go back to the Patriots, because especially with
you were all about him going to the Chargers.
I was. Then the coronavirus hit. Here's why.
Swaggy P meme? Like what?
No, but that matters because everything's going to be limited. So if you go to a new team, that's a new system, that's a new coach, that's a new offensive coordinator. There's a lot of familiarity.
This is an all-time Ruther.
Familiarity.
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 Just stop using that word.
Okay.
Would be my advice. But what is telling you that that anything will be shortened?
Have you seen the news? What's happening right now?
Right, but
They're saying everything's going to be pushed back. Mini camp and OTAs and all those sort of things.
But push back would be longer time to learn something.
No, I think push back means all that stuff is shorter because the NFL season is going to want to still start in September.
I mean, that seems like not the way that they would approach it.
Everything I'm seeing is that all this stuff gets shortened, and then Tom Brady is suddenly stuck with a new team, whether that's the Chargers or the Bucks or whoever, and he's got a shortened amount of time to learn that system, right? To gel with his new teammates.
I mean, let's be honest. Tom Brady.
So I think he's going back.
Okay, let's be honest. Tom Brady. Yes, it would be great for him to have more time working with guys, but you can do all that. Like Eli Manning would always have like the Manning passing thing where like all his wide receivers would go down to Duke. Like Tom Brady could still learn somebody's playbook, meet with his receivers, do all that stuff, right?
Look, I think he can too. I think.
To me,
look, what are his options?
Okay, here's my thing with Tom Brady.
He only has a couple
If
teams.
Tom Brady was dead set on leaving the Patriots, how do you go back? Who cares what's happening? How do you go back? Like, why isn't Tom Brady already signed by the Patriots if Tom Brady's going to sign with the Patriots?
It's a good question.
I think the obvious answer is Bill Belichick is done with Tom Brady at 42 years old.
But I think they both are. I have a feeling like you have two major egos. You have Belichick, you have Brady. And I think they both maybe might say, hey, I'm responsible for the 6 rings.
I think Tom Brady is offended that he ever had to play a season and become a free agent when saying, I want to play next year. I feel like Tom Brady feels like, if I want to play next year, then you should extend me for next year the second I say I want to do that. I think Tom Brady's ego is hurt that he won 6 rings and that they had not signed him, knowing that he wanted to play, that it was never left up in the air, that Tom Brady said he wanted to play till 45, and it wasn't, let's see how the playoffs go. And so he's like, if you know I want to play, and I know I want to play, why don't I have a deal? And that's why I think we're even in this situation.
Yeah.
Where Tom Brady's leaving. Because he's like, oh, you're not going to fucking extend me? All I did for you? Fuck you guys.
Well, what are his options then? I mean, you're talking about other teams, Joe, and I don't see that many. We all thought Tennessee was a hot option. Gone. Right?
I mean, you've been on the Chargers bandwagon.
I think his options are Chargers, Bucks. I mean, there's this insane idea, and it's not getting much traction, that he's going to go to Miami to stick it to his old team in the AFC
That would be
East.
dumb because he's not going to stick it to his old team. I still don't understand. Like, I mean, besides Deflategate and something with some sort of, legacy rivalry with Peyton Manning, the Colts are just waiting for a veteran quarterback. The Colts are just waiting for somebody who can throw a 4-yard out successfully, a wide-open 4-yard out to be a playoff team.
But isn't that going to be Phillip Rivers?
I mean, you're not saying that the Colts prefer Phillip Rivers over Tom Brady, right?
I don't know. Dude, here's the crazy thing about Brady.
And by the way, if that was Phillip Rivers, why isn't it Phillip Rivers? It's open.
We all know.
The gates are open. They could sign. If it's been Phillip Rivers this whole time, where's the deal?
But here's what's interesting about Brady right now, and I don't think enough people are talking about this. The Titans didn't want him, plain and simple. And that's been released, that they were never going to negotiate with Brady. It was always about signing Ryan Tannehill. Now it's been leaked. The San Francisco 49ers, who supposedly were his number one destination to go back home, wanted no part of him. So we're seeing teams don't want him as much as everybody thought.
Well, Matty Goldberg would say, those guys are haters and they don't respect the GOAT and they don't know this guy's the greatest thing to ever play the game and he's pocket aces and you got to go all in when you got pocket aces. And two coaches who were in the Super Bowl and the conference championship game are like, Tom Brady 42 ain't got it. We're going to go with Ryan Tannehill. We're going to go with Jimmy Garoppolo, which, by the way, I will repeat for people who call me a Tom Brady hater. I said the Patriots should have sent Brady to the Niners 2 years ago when they sent Garoppolo there. When they called about him, it would have been better for both teams. I was all about that deal. It made sense then. It does get them a Super Bowl last year, potentially. It certainly gets them a better shot. And what you said on the last episode when you did with Maddie is incorrect. I didn't say that he's not a better option on that 49ers team last year. I said he's not a better option on the 49ers going forward, which I also agree with.
Okay. I gotcha.
Jimmy, if you're a up-and-coming team that's young at every position, that is building its persona, you take a whole culture that you've built. If you're the Titans, you played in an AFC championship game. Everybody's bought into this culture. This 49ers, everybody's bought into this culture to go to the Super Bowl. And you go, now we are the Tom Brady's new team. Your culture gets lit on fire, and you become the team that Tom Brady plays for. That's just what you are. This isn't Joe Montana to the Chiefs. The Chiefs weren't playing in Super Bowls, weren't playing in conference championship games.
Well, by that,
They had Sonny Bono playing quarterback for them.
By that rationale, the Bucks and the Chargers would make sense that they're Tom Brady's team because both of those cities
Have nothing.
Need fans, need excitement.
Yeah. Look, the Colts, to me, again, obvious, but that's about Tom Brady. That's just what is Tom Brady's gut telling him about. Again, can you play in the uniform that essentially the guy you got compared to your whole career played for? And can you play for the team that started Deflategate?
I mean, it's similar LeBron, Kobe.
Yeah, not really, though. I mean, LeBron, Kobe weren't head-to-head rivals their whole career. Like, it was Peyton and Brady for a decade. Best quarterback in the league. Who's going to be the AFC's representative? Brady. We're talking about, you know,
Yeah.
that's like bird magic.
If
It's magic going to play for the Celtics.
if he wants to go to the better team is Tampa Bay. They have better weapons
Then who?
than the Chargers.
Okay, of those two, yeah.
They have better weapons. They have a better coach, in my opinion.
Yep.
They have a better defense. Don't let any of these blog boys, you know who I'm talking about, try to say the Bucks actually had a good defense last year, and they have a lot of talent. And they just re-signed Shaq Lawson, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct in that?
I don't. Did they tag? They're talking about tagging.
But my point is this: you have the best wide receiver duo, arguably in the NFL, in Mike Evans and Godwin. Not a bad place to go.
There's this thing about Tom Brady in South Florida and how he plays against the Dolphins and he doesn't want it to be hot. I don't know.
Where do you see it? Are we making any predictions?
I low key am like kind of still on the Chargers.
I want him to the Chargers.
I mean, I'm low key kind of still on it. Like I just don't know where the Bucks thing comes from in the first place. Like,
yeah.
Why the Bucks? But you know, I don't really even want to predict because I don't know. Like if I were Tom Brady, again, like I just don't know how Tom Brady feels about the Colts. But if I was Tom Brady, I'd be like, that's what. Again, the Raiders, the Chargers, Tampa Bay is definitely a better fit. But I still feel like the Chargers is like Riley to the Heat, is like LeBron to the Lakers. It's like it's more than just going there to be the quarterback.
I gotcha.
Like if I'm the Chargers, I'm going, do you want 4% of the team and to be the governor of California in like 3 years?
Well, this is my take. As a 2020.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger is on Twitter feeding like small horses in his house. Like
it's pretty awesome.
You can be the governor of California if you're Tom Brady.
Well,
you can do it.
As a Los Angeles Chargers season ticket holder for the upcoming season, this is my take. I want Tom Brady to be the quarterback. Either way, I'm going to say this right now. If Tom Brady is the quarterback, I'm getting a Tom Brady jersey, hands down. I'm rooting for the Chargers, of course. I'm going to games. If Tom Brady is not the quarterback, my next option, because for the show it'd be too funny, and I will also get his jersey, is I want Jameis Winston as the quarterback.
I still don't understand. And finally, like, I can't believe it took this long to happen. Finally, there's chirping about Jameis Winston to the Raiders. Jameis Winston to the Raiders is like this. He was born to be the Raiders quarterback.
Okay, let's.
Jameis Winston eating W's off his own fingers.
We don't know.
They're all saying it's eating bats, but like the guy was licking his own hands, touching his teammates.
Yeah. Who knows what kind of.
Don't eat W's around your elderly grandparents. By the way.
Who knows what kind of uncooked crawfish he had the night before? Because he was in
shellfish that he stole from a pharmacy. Who's buying shellfish at a pharmacy? Why is there even raw bars at pharmacies in Florida?
But he was in. He ate the W in New Orleans. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he had maybe some uncooked jambalaya.
I mean, I'm saying that he was stealing crab's legs from a Publix and didn't wash his hands for 2 full years. That's what I'm. I mean, did we see? Remember when he was drinking water out of that spigot on the side of a house in the middle of nowhere and
on Hard Knocks?
Yeah, where is he from?
He's somewhere in the middle of Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're John Gruden. I'm Jameis Winston. I show up to training camp the first day. We're in the Las Vegas Sun, and I say to you, Coach, what's the plan? We don't got any weapons. What's the plan this year? Like, who am I throwing the ball to? What am I doing, Coach?
J-Dub, you don't need weapons if you're a grinder, okay? I need you to go out there. I need you to grind, okay? When you go out there, you got fancy weapons on your left. You got fancy weapons on your right. It's easy. We all seen what guys can do with weapons. I need you to go out there and say, I don't know who's over here. I don't know who's over there. Spider 2, Y, banana, grind it. Grind it. That's what I need you to do. You're going to come over to my house all summer. You're going to hang out in my house. We're going to sit in the pool together. I'm going to make a cake in the shape of a W. We're literally going to eat W's. and we're going to grind. We're going to put our playbook on the middle of a table. We're going to put it in a big stone bowl. We're going to get one of those giant muddlers they make, those fancy rum drinks with, and we're going to grind it. We're going to grind that playbook. That's what I need you to do, J-Dub.
It's very sexual grinding. Very
J-Dub,
sexual.
you're not going to miss South Florida. You're not going to be missing the strip clubs of South Florida the way I'm grinding. I'll grind up against you. You sit in a chair, I'll give you the best lap dance of your life. I'll grind my ass right on your playbook. Yeah. You can touch it all you want. Put your hands all over me. You're my starting quarterback. Grind up on you.
A.J. Green has been franchised. Poor A.J. Green.
Poor A.J. Green. I mean, when I look at the Bengals thing, I see jail stripes. The guy is in prison.
Yeah. Free A.J. Green. All right. Who else we have on the CBS top?
Phillip Rivers is 6.
Yeah.
Rivers to the Colts is kind of
By the way,
what everybody thinks, right?
Yeah. I misspoke. It's Shaq Barrett, not Shaq Lawson.
Oh, yeah.
I was confusing them.
Shaq Lawson was also tagged or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Shaq Barrett's the Bucks edge rusher. Or Shaq Barrett. Yeah, that's what I said. See, now you got me all fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, we're just going.
We're talking Teddy. There's talk of Teddy Bridgewater, Foles, whatever, to the Bears. There's. We're still, by the way. I mean, the Calais Campbell trade is days ago now.
Jags to Ravens. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it for the Ravens defense.
It's another steal of a deal.
Yeah. I mean, he's older. He's in his 30s.
But the Jags, are the Jags punting? Are the Jags going full rebuild? Is that what the Jags are doing?
They got to be, right? What was that deal for? Let me pull it up. I mean, he was only traded for a fifth round pick. It was a money shred. He's expected to make $15 million this year.
Byron Jones signed. Goes from the Cowboys to the Dolphins. Dolphins give him $82.5 million for 5 years. I think that's maybe a record-breaking cornerback contract. Or
Dolphins also landed Kyle Van Noy just a little bit ago.
Okay.
Oh.
What's going on with the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Are the Dolphins trying to compete? And are they doing it with our boy Fitzy?
Love it.
Dude, I want to talk about the Browns for a minute.
Okay. Can I, before you start, because I know you're about to go hard.
I'm not going to go hard.
I'm going to go to the bathroom because
Okay.
I know you don't need me here for this. I agree with you. You just put Hooper. You just take the same people you all bonered out for last year. You add Hooper. You're going to boner out all again. Like this is going to be the team. Go for it, Andy. I'm going to piss.
So you did know where I was going with this.
I'm saying I don't even. I know you don't need me.
Okay.
Do you want me to get an actual soapbox for you to stand on?
No.
Okay,
no.
I'm going to piss while you yell about the Browns.
It's not even. I'm not going to yell.
You should.
Okay. I'm going to be calm though.
Drop an F-bomb.
Okay. No, just go take a leak, Prano, and make sure you wash your hands. Okay, Cleveland Browns. You struggled last year. You especially struggled to protect Baker Mayfield. You have weapons all around you. The running back, the wide receiver, the tight end. And you add Hooper? Like that's what they're doing here?
Yeah, they now have 2 elite playmakers at every skill position. You got Austin Hooper, David Njoku. You got Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham. You got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. What?
But that's my point. You were already stacked. And Baker Mayfield was running for his life last year.
Yeah.
You need somebody to protect Baker Mayfield. That's all I'm saying. I see this signing, and I don't get, you don't need another tight end, right? You don't need there's only one football.
Yeah, it's a waste of money.
In my
It's a
opinion.
waste of cap space, 100%.
In my opinion.
I'm agreeing with you.
What do I know? I'm just a dude on a couch in Venice Beach trying to deal with the quarantine that's hit our country. But, that is a dumb move, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because Baker Mayfield made a lot of bad passes. He had the sophomore slump. You see it all the time. A lot of rash decisions. He was running for his life. I watched all the Browns games last year. All of them. I really enjoyed watching the Browns be the train wreck that they were. because everybody was, the Browns, this is our year. I don't like this move at all. Now, I know the Browns did sign.
They did get Jack Conklin,
I
right tackle.
I was going to say, they did get Conklin from the Titans. So I like that move. You're adding to your offensive line, but I don't think what Baker Mayfield needed was another playmaker. I don't think that was the answer to, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Nick, he's now the highest paid tight end per year.
4 years, $44 million. I'm not sure if that's the highest, but that's the number. So $11 million a year.
Yeah. So he's making a lot of money for the tight end position. And like you said, they already have Landry. They already have Odell. You already have Njoku. You got the stud running backs. I don't get it.
And then Atlanta goes and replaces him with the guy from the Ravens,
Hurst.
for like nothing.
And I liked him. He worked great with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So you're right. That does actually make him the highest paid tight end in the league by year. Jimmy Graham also signing with the Bears today.
Wow.
Poor Jimmy Graham. He went from Drew Brees to Russell Wilson to Aaron Rodgers, and now who are the Bears? Mitchell Trubisky? Like, are they going to go out and get another?
Well, it sounds like it's anybody but Mitchell Trubisky. They're willing. They're talking to every single quarterback alive.
I saw that they have interest in Bridgewater now too.
Bridgewater, Foles, Dalton, Carr. That's just 4 names that I've seen listed as potential Bears quarterbacks.
I'm going to toss something out.
And what's our dude from the Saints? The guy who was not even the
Teddy Bridgewater?
No, the other one. Where's our
Taysom
slash
Hill?
guy? Taysom Hill to the Bears? We're starting the rumors now. Eli Manning back out of retirement to the Bears.
Okay, I'm gonna play a game. Let me go back to the Browns for a second. They also signed Case Keenum today
The Browns signed Case Keenum. Okay.
as a backup.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield really struggled last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got a new coach. Will Case Keenum be starting for the Browns by week 10?
For non-injury reasons?
Yes.
To go full poop sock? For non-injury reasons? No, he won't.
Zach Meyer in the YouTube comments says Case takes over by week 6.
I think that Baker Mayfield's their quarterback.
Through hell or high water?
I could see Baker losing his job in an injury and then Keenum plays better type of situation, but I don't see him getting benched for Keenum.
Yeah. It's an interesting discussion, though. All right, who are some of these other major guys that we haven't discussed?
I mean, yeah, there's other like
There's tons of guys out
there's
there.
a lot of franchise taggings happening, but not a ton of. I mean, McCourty re-signed.
Forrest Buckner.
Oh, that
Going
was
to
a
the
big
Colts?
one.
Yeah, to the Colts.
That was a big one, and they're paying him.
Yeah, Colts are going for it.
They are.
Colts need a quarterback.
Yeah.
$21 million a year for Buckner.
Colts need a quarterback. Or do they, Doug?
Well, I don't know if you saw. And I'm sure you're not surprised. There will be there's no events for the draft now.
Right, I know.
So
Sad. We were going to Vegas.
we were going to Vegas.
We had decided we were going to Vegas.
We had decided.
So you Ruther cursed the draft? I mean,
How did I do that? I'm not responsible for any of this. Wait, what? Is there chirping that I started the coronavirus? No.
it's a little chirping.
Well, that chirping needs to be silenced. I'm not this has nothing to do with me. It has something to do with people needing to eat bats. Why are you eating bats?
That's a nonsensical thing, right? Like, this didn't actually start with somebody eating a bat.
It did.
I just,
It did.
but they don't have a patient zero.
Bro. The food epidemic is so bad in China that these poor people have to eat bats.
Okay, that's neither here nor there.
But that's the disease comes from these bats. And these people are eating bats.
Right. Like, people, China, they've been eating cats for years. Don't eat your Chinese with cat, this. But, like, I know that's all the talk. But, like, this is not verified, right? I've seen no verification that this is actually from bat.
Look, man, all I know is this. I've been critical.
This is like, somebody fucked a monkey. Remember that was the thing back in the day? Somebody fucked a monkey?
Bro, they're eating back. Have you seen the markets in Wuhan? Is it Wuhan? However, it's that province of China.
Yeah.
It's a shit show, bro. Take Mildred right now, which, by the way, Mildred is out of control. Like, worst it's ever been. It's like Mildred.
Well, we've handed the streets over to the homeless. Quarantine has handed the streets over to the zombies.
They put a hand washing station on Mildred.
That's unbelievable.
They put a hand washing station there.
I mean, that's good for you, but also ridiculous.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Are we gonna dip into the coronavirus thing, or have we?
I mean, what else?
Is this it for the NFL? Because then when we go off of the NFL, this basically the rest of the sports stories are no more sports, right?
Rick Pitino.
Right. I mean, should we do the coronavirus thing before we go into the other sports? Did you have other stuff on the NFL before we wrap up NFL?
No, I mean, there's free agency things happening left and right. There's only so much I want to cover.
So much to cover with the coronavirus. We're not going to cover a lot of it, but I got one thing that I just thought of again while I was in the bathroom. Here's my coronavirus pet peeve. Here's a pet peeve for you. Everybody's saying that you should wash your hands with hot water, right?
Yeah.
And then I've seen people shame other people on the internet for running their water while they wash their hands, for not wetting their hands, soaping while the water's off, and then turning the water back on to soap. Am I the only person in the world that has never used a faucet that you don't have to run the water for it to get hot?
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. That's ridiculous.
The only way I can get hot water is if I run it constantly.
Yeah.
So I don't know what these people are talking about. I don't know. What gorgeous mansion do you live in where you just turn on your hot and it's just hot coming out the gate?
It's got to take a minute to kick in.
When you guys wash your hands, do you wet your hands first, then put on the soap?
Yes.
Or do you just put on the soap, rub it together, and then water on your hands?
Well, you need water to activate soap, right?
Yeah, but some people will put soap on their hands, rub it together, and then do it. Or they'll get their hands wet first.
I go water on, soap under the water, and in.
This is where we're at.
So I'm not wetting myself before I do thing because then my soap thing's all
This is
wet.
the state of our country. We are discussing on a twice-weekly sports comedy podcast
Well, sports are canceled, dog.
how the hell we wash our hands. Unbelievable.
Now, when you brush your teeth, do you put the toothpaste on first, or do you wet the toothbrush first and then put the toothpaste on?
I don't think you brush your teeth, by the way, Nick.
Toothpaste
Oh,
on,
hold on.
and then one dip under the water.
Can I address something? I've never seen you brush your teeth. Do you brush your teeth?
Every day.
When?
Mornings.
This is a ridiculous thing to
Mornings
accuse somebody of.
and
My
after
girlfriend
dinner.
does this to me. My girlfriend does this to me all the time. She's like, "You don't brush your teeth." I'm like, "I brush my teeth when I get up in the morning. I brush my teeth before I go to bed. I brush my teeth twice a day, like every human in the world."
Now, here's the
And
thing.
honestly, if you brush your teeth more than twice a day, you're kind of weird.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
My brother's a dentist. He would disagree.
Okay, well, your brother's a dentist.
Here's the thing, Andy. I don't brush my teeth before I go to bed. After I eat my last, after I eat dinner, or like one last, after I eat, then I'll brush my teeth maybe around 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that.
that's weird.
No.
No, because here, let me tell you, dude. Again,
It's got to be after you've had everything except water, which, again, my girlfriend accuses me of not brushing my teeth. She'll brush her teeth, and then she'll fucking snack before bed. I'm like, what's happening here?
yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But you should always brush your teeth before bed. All those germs are just fermenting in that bacteria in your mouth. And I'll show you how to floss good, by the way. You need any flossing tips?
Do I need flossing tips?
I bet you do.
I use those little pick things.
One arm's in the front, one arm's in the back. It's like that. That's how it goes like that.
This guy's got jokes.
Yeah.
We
Nailed it.
should discuss coronavirus, though, because I have battled some people on Reddit in the past week. I have made some tweets in the past week. And I want to go back to what I said last episode, Joe. And I stand by that. Because to me,
Well, what you said, first of all, you said nothing to fear but fear itself was that JFK quote. So let's start there.
Okay, it's FDR.
Yeah.
It's Roosevelt.
I was listening. I was like, wow, that's gonna be an old takes exposed.
Well, that was a bad take. I mixed up my American presidents by about 30 years. Here's the thing, though. I did say last episode, why are we shutting down? I specifically said this. a Golden State Warriors game, but then not shutting down the public transit system in San Francisco?
Well, and I have an answer for you because I listened to that episode.
But hold on.
Because one's a private thing and one's a public thing.
Okay, but hold on. We are now to the point in this country, in a lot of cities like L.A., like New York, where they're basically saying nothing's open. Ohio, the whole state. No schools, no restaurants, no bars, no nightclubs, no music, no, you can name it, movie theaters.
Now, there are exceptions to that, correct?
There are exceptions.
Right. So there's exceptions to that. You can go to the doctor. You can go to the pharmacy. You can go to the supermarket. You can
Correct.
go whatever. So if you live here, your doctor's in downtown L.A., you're a poor person, you need public transportation.
Okay.
So that's why they can't shut down public. They can't not give you an option of places, like a way to get to things you do need.
My argument would be this, and again, either don't half-ass it, just shut everything down.
Well, now they're kind of doing that.
They've done it in Italy. They've done it in Spain. My point is this slow progression, somebody needs to explain this to me. If it's that big of a deal, and apparently it seems like it is at this point, if it's that big of a deal, why are we progressing, Joe? My point is...
Well, I can explain it to you, and I said it while we were driving back here. It's a double-edged sword, and we've taken heat on, like, all these things for saying, oh, it's the flu, which, by the way, it's the flu on steroids. And I've learned something from calling it the flu and having people come at me. A lot of people don't know about the flu. A lot of people don't know how the flu works. A lot of people are like, what are you talking about? This isn't like the flu. Yeah, it is. It's like the flu.
It's a strand of the flu.
By the way, there's a million strains of the flu, which we keep up with and whatever. And we have flu vaccines. We have flu shots and whatever. But you can have the flu and not know you have the flu and not have any symptoms of the flu and pass the flu on to somebody else, and then they get sick. Here's another thing that I'm starting to learn a lot of people didn't know. Fuck coronavirus. You know you shouldn't go hang out with your grandma without washing your hands and, like, using Purell and shit like that. Like, old people are susceptible to your dumbass shit. If you're going out and doing cocaine on a Saturday night, don't just straight up roll to your grandmother's on Sunday morning. Like, that ain't how it works.
Yeah.
I call it the flu, and it's essentially the flu. We don't have a vaccine for it yet, and it's killing a higher percentage of people, and it's spreading faster than your average flu. And I told you to stop saying, oh, the flu kills more people. Yeah, because the flu's been around for a fucking long time, and it happens every year, and blah, blah, blah. And this is progressing at a faster rate, and it's killing at a higher rate than the flu kills. But this is how you're, like, wash your hands, don't touch your face, don't touch, wipe shit down. Guys, watch Naomi Campbell's Instagram sometime. This is what the chick does every time she takes a plane, coronavirus or no coronavirus. Like, when you go on public transportation and you touch the handrails and shit, you're going to get the fucking flu one day.
Yeah, I'll say this.
I learned people don't know what the flu is.
Well,
that's what I learned from
I've also learned people don't wash their hands. As I've gotten older, I don't even want to call it OCD because people have called me. I've been labeled OCD by some people. Like, oh, you're getting way more OCD. I've always, when I come in my apartment after being out, I've always washed my hands.
I always wash my hands before I eat anything.
That's what I'm saying. If we go to a restaurant, I'm not putting food in my hands before I wash them. Okay, granted, I did do a video where I was eating a slice of pizza with dirty rubber gloves.
Yeah.
That was for the bit at Costco. By the way, great video. Shout out to Nick for that. Latest Andy Goes to Costco is lit. But why were people never washing their hands? You're right, Joe. Why were people going to old people's homes?
That's what I'm saying. People, I feel like people I feel like people still don't know that you can have something, not have any symptoms of it, and pass it along to somebody else. You were never sick, and you could give it to somebody else. That's what's happening with this. And people are like, this is totally different. It's like Rudy Gobert, the reason the NBA got canceled is because Rudy Gobert had symptoms of being sick. Then he was better a day later and was ready to play in an NBA game, and then his test came back and said that he had coronavirus. It wasn't going to kill him. Rudy Gobert is going to be fine. Donovan Mitchell has never had a single symptom.
Well, look, the numbers don't lie.
You could have the regular flu right now. You could have coronavirus right now.
I probably do. Nick and I went to Costco the other day, and I was a savage.
But let me go back to what your question was before you do that. The whole thing of slowing it down, the big problem with the coronavirus right now is you said there's nothing to fear but fear itself. There's nothing to fear but other people's fear.
Yeah.
The problem with the coronavirus, it is not going to kill you if you get it. It's not going to kill me. It's not going to kill Nick. Donovan Mitchell didn't even fucking have a symptom. There are people out there, and the numbers of people, the cases that have it is because people go, oh, there's no cases. Because no one's testing for it in certain places. But the number one issue with the coronavirus is that the way people are freaking out about it, and the media doesn't help, but also it's a double-edged sword because the media has to overblow it so that people stay home. But also, it's scaring the shit out of people. The way people are treating Costco and Walmart right now, if they treat the hospitals like that, the whole goddamn nation collapses. The way you can't get a fucking toilet paper because people are going and buying 600 rolls of toilet paper. By the way, your IQ is 100 minus however many rolls of toilet paper over 6 you have in your house. That's like, if you have 40 rolls of toilet paper right now, take a shower. What the fuck are you doing? Who needs all this toilet paper? But if the way you went to Costco and people are lined up down the block, if that happens at hospitals, we're fucked. Because the healthcare system will collapse. Doctors will be tired. Nurses will be tired. Beds will be taken. I was in the hospital when coronavirus wasn't happening, and people were lined up in a hallway because there was no rooms and no beds. If we have people lined up in the hallway of hospitals, people are going to die because people are going to come in who need care and not be able to get it.
Well, and
the panic is what's going to kill people.
And I agree. And the numbers back it up, what you're saying. There's a great tracker which details every single corona case. It's at worldometers.info/coronavirus. There is 182,000 documented coronavirus cases. Of the current active cases, 94% are considered mild condition. The whole thing is kind of confusing to me because only 7,158 people have died so far. And again, I'm not diminishing those 7,000 plus people.
Of course. And it's fucking going fast. And you have a right to be afraid of it because we don't have a vaccine. Of course, you should be afraid of anything that we don't have a vaccine for. But if you're a 30-year-old person in good health, you are not going to die from the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to fucking go, you shouldn't be saying that shit. But I told you, you can have straight sex without a condom. You're not getting AIDS. You're not dying of the coronavirus. And the whole thing of like, oh, you're going to kill old people and whatever, 100% true. By the way,
don't hang out with old people.
I would bathe in Purell when I was totally healthy before I saw my dad because he was sick.
Yeah, and
don't go to your grandma's house after you go to a rave on a Saturday night without fucking taking a shower, dog. You're going to kill your grandma with the regular old flu.
Yeah, and this panic. Like, I've been feeling a little under the weather the last week. It's none of the coronavirus symptoms. Before this even happened. Just, a little cold, a little tired, scratchy throat. I also did some exercises outside. It's been raining a lot here in LA. It's been cold for us, like in the 50s. But it's like you said to me when I picked you up from the airport, the normal person who has my symptoms right now is freaking out.
Exactly.
Where I'm just saying, I got a cold. And even if I do have the coronavirus right now, it's not showing symptoms.
There's people freaking out about not being able to get fucking toilet paper. Everybody needs to chill out. I understand it is a fucking pandemic, but also you just gotta you gotta kind of.
Here's what you need to do.
You gotta kind of stay a little bit on the road here.
Relax a little, stay at home, quarantine yourself.
And also, by the way, who cares? Like if you can quarantine yourself, then just do it.
Yeah. And while you're quarantining yourself, get some fresh gear. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
This thing's not going to last forever. Go visit our friends at untuckit.com. And you're going to lose some weight, which is great if you're quarantined. Probably not going to be eating as much because the store shelves are a lot more bare. You're going to get a nice fitting t-shirt. Or I'm sorry, a nice fitted button-down shirt. I got that nice jacket.
Andy,
Isn't now the time to get this stuff?
now is the time to get it. And I've spoken glowingly about Untuck It and the cardigan that I got from them.
Oh,
But I also got a button-down shirt from them, which I just wore for the very first time. I'm saving it for a special occasion. I wore it for the very first time on Saturday night at the Stardome in Hoover, Alabama for 2 shows. And I am not lying. I got many compliments. It has red. It's like a grayish silver shirt, and it's got red threading around the buttons and in the buttons, and it is sharp as shit, and it fits. And the Untuck It name of Untuck It is these shirts, a dress shirt that is meant to be worn untucked, and chef's kiss.
Perfect. Guys, don't just take our word for it. Try Untuck It for yourself. Visit untuckit.com and use promo code DIRTY for 20% off your first order. They even offer free shipping and returns on all orders within the United States. That's untuckit.com, promo code DIRTY for 20% off on your first order. And seriously, take advantage of these guys. We have some great brands that we work with, and let's hope they keep working with us. Obviously, the truth is, I'll just be blunt with you guys, we have lost some sponsors. We don't want to lose more.
Because I've been swearing?
Because of the coronavirus.
Right. Okay, good.
We just lose monetization when you swear. So go use Untuck It. Drop promo code DIRTY. That helps our show out. It'll help you look good while you're quarantining and chilling, and also post-coronavirus. And I'll send you koozies because I think the post office is still open. And by the way, if I owe you koozies, my apologies. I will get those out this week.
How dare you not go out during a quarantine to mail those koozies, Andy? How dare you?
I'll be out. I mean, Joe, what are we predicting? Like, let's talk about this right now because it's like coronavirus sports related because we haven't really gotten into this. I mean, they're saying right now, best case scenario for the NBA is mid to late June. Trump today said
to return, and then what?
They're saying best case.
And then play the rest of the season?
I don't know.
So, I mean, it's kind of like when I moved to Los Angeles and all of my games started earlier. Like the idea, silver lining here, silver lining to the whole world dying. You're not dying, by the way. Only old people are going to die. Silver lining to the coronavirus pandemic. Just like our sports calendar getting mixed and jumbled and us having like NBA happening in August. Remember when August, like you got baseball and mini camp?
Yeah.
It's like a little NBA Finals action in August. Give me some. Now, I know they canceled March Madness. I know that's a big deal. That happened after you and Maddie were on, did the show.
It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. So March Madness canceled. I know that's a downer for a lot of people. I'm not taking it as hard as many other people. Not a huge college basketball fan. And by the way, I've had a couple of people call me out on my college. Just back me up here. I'm pretty much on the record for a while now saying I give 0 fucks about college basketball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're coming at me on my knowledge of college basketball, look, you can't be supremely knowledgeable in everything. Like, how much, like, I gotta be
the ego on this guy.
I gotta know every single thing about the NBA, NFL, and Major League Baseball, and I gotta, like, sorry. I don't do college basketball. I barely do college football. I don't do UFC. I don't do golf. I don't do soccer. I don't do hockey. Come on, guys. I've only got so much time to watch sports.
And look, guys, I want to address the cancellation of all this stuff, especially for March Madness. It sucks. And I have sympathy for sure for those senior athletes, especially a team like Dayton, where they were having their best season since like the 60s or something. But this whole thing that's happening is affecting all of it. Like, my point is, I don't have any more sympathy for the college athletes than I do for the waiter who now
I mean, I was just saying.
I have
I was
sympathy
just
for
saying to
everybody.
My manager, my show is canceled next weekend. Like, it sucks. I like.
It sucks.
Like, you know.
Your livelihood.
Yeah. Like,
Our
I
livelihood.
was already thinking. I was like, okay, I got that money coming in. I got this. Like, it sucks for people who's and look, it sucks that I'm not getting paid to do my show next week. But like, I do have a little bit more sympathy. Like, your sports career ending just before like the rug being pulled out from under the end of what is essentially probably your sports career. That's hard, man.
No, it's hard.
That's a kick in the balls.
No, it's hard. I guess my point was I'm not diminishing. I'm saying I have sympathy. I'm trying to look across the board. Like, I just have sympathy for everybody.
Yeah, but I'm saying
We're all going through this.
we'll get through it. I'll get another show. Waiters will get their job. Like, I know it's gonna be tough, and people are gonna struggle. Waiters will go back to work. The government's trying to figure out how to hand people money. I don't know how great an idea that is, but we're figuring out. But, like, some of those kids will never
play basketball
again.
Yeah, you're right. That's tough.
And they worked their whole life for it. And I don't feel bad at all for the kids who are, like, at Duke who are going to go to the NBA. It's like your career will go on, and they're going to be millionaires.
Yeah.
But the kids at Dayton and the kids who whatever who are like, this was their shot. And not even the shot to, like, win it. Just, like, ending a couple weeks before. Like, I want to know when my last game is. Or my potential last game. And I know the college, the NCAA, I think, is giving years of eligibility to, like, spring sports folks.
Yeah.
Maybe. Some certain things. I don't know that haven't started or whatever. So that's cool. But it sucks.
Yeah, and I assume the depression rate will be a lot higher in this country, which is not a good thing. It's the last thing we need. The whole situation sucks. And if they're saying mid to late June is the best case scenario for NBA, they might not finish the season.
Right. Well, to me, the NBA, the answer is obvious to the NBA.
Go straight to playoffs.
Just go straight to the playoffs. Or, like,
they played 80. They played 60-something games.
Yeah, like, play 5 games at the end of the year. Play like, I don't know how you do it, but, like, I don't know what portion of the schedule you choose, but play 5 or 6 games or play 2 weeks of NBA basketball to give a team that might be the 9 seed a chance to jump the team in the 8 seed to whatever. And also to get to, like, not go to the playoffs cold. But then, yeah, do it. Like, you don't have to finish out the 82 games. That's dumb. Baseball should be shortened. I think, like, go to 144 or whatever. Pick one of those numbers.
Yeah.
That, like, has some significance. 100 games, whatever. But the hardest part for me is like, way more than there being no March Madness. Sell me on the March Madness. Like, the idea that April 1st, April 5th, April 15th are going to come, and I ain't going to have baseball starting. My depression's going up.
What are you going to do with your time?
Well, it's interesting because, and I just put out a podcast, which I said in the pre-roll. I put out an episode of the Joe Prano podcast for the first time in over a year. And suddenly the whole world is doing what I've been doing for 2 months. I've just been in bed. I'm recovering from this knee thing. I have been sucking down books, podcasts, movies, TV shows. I've been just eating up the art. And that's what everybody should be doing. Like, there are tons of things, like, I know your favorite podcast might whatever and your sports whatever, but Nick hadn't seen Back to the fucking Future. Go back and watch or listen to or read a book that you've always heard about, and, like, just fill your life with, like, more. A lot of people have made a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's no way you've digested all of it that's up your alley. Go find some shit. I did an hour-long podcast where I even felt like I didn't really do much of a podcast because I didn't review these things. I literally just ran through a list of all the stuff I've watched, listened to, and read in the last 2 months.
And you're anti-solo podcasts.
And I'm very anti-solo podcasts, and I say that in the thing. It's very weird for me. I almost didn't put it out. Again, I have a number of solo podcasts that are sitting there in the ether because it's weird for me. But I just listed all the stuff that I've been watching and reading and whatever. Like, there's tons of great shit. So listen to the Joe Prano podcast and then read and watch a bunch of those things.
And if you're fortunate to be with somebody you actually care about, just spend time with them. I mean, but it's true though. Like I hate this shit because my family's in Ohio, and like
your son's here though.
Hello.
I'm actually watching Back to the Future 3 with my son tonight.
You and your son are doing movie nights.
Got Curb to catch up on too.
Did you guys do one night, Back to the Future 2 another night, and then
back-to-back nights?
Yeah.
Missed out last night.
Yeah.
And last night was a night off?
Yeah.
Good. There should be some separation between that and 3.
You really hate 3.
I don't hate it, but it's just like, to me, here's what I'll say about Back to the Future, the series. Back to the Future 1 is great. Is Back to the Future. Like, the timing that they picked of it and everything like that. Back to the Future 2, going to the future and having a future, like, no-brainer. The Old West, it's like, I feel like the Old West is so cliche. They could have gone to so many different. The Old West. How about like the Crusades? How about the Great Depression? How about I don't know, a million. Like the Old West to me just seems so like all the genre. Like then we're doing a Western genre. Like wah, wah. You could have gone anywhere in time. Like that's the cool thing about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. They went to a lot of different fucking times.
You also got to remember, and I pointed this out to Nick,
like ancient Greece.
With the Back to the Future movies, though.
That's a good idea. Greece, I like it.
They're PG.
Yeah.
So, but that is important because I remember for my 8-year-old birthday party.
Would have been PG-13 if Biff got it in on that rape, but otherwise.
Well, it would have been PG-13 now for sure.
Yeah.
Because I was telling him that for my 2nd grade birthday party, my mom took me and my friends. That was my birthday party. We went and we saw Back to the Future 2. And that was like a big deal when it came out. And we saw it. And that was when I was 8. My point is, these movies were also meant for like young kids.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember seeing Back to the Future 1 at the Bedford Playhouse, walking in like half a minute late to the ticking clocks.
Yeah.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
And I can remember like it was yesterday. Since they filmed Back to the Future 2 and 3 together, they only came out with they came out within 6 to 8 months apart. And I remember they showed the preview, like the full trailer for Back to the Future 3 right after Back to the Future 2 ends. I remember being an 8-year-old losing my mind in the theater, being like, "What? There's going to be a Back to the Future 3 and they're in the Old West?" So my point is that's why. Like they're catering it to dumb 8-year-old kids that I was.
Sure.
That was losing my mind.
No, I understand it. I'm just saying it's all you literally had all of eternity forwards and backwards to choose from. You choose the Old West, like how many fucking westerns do we need?
And I don't want to give spoilers, but Biff rapes Doc Brown in Back to the Future 3. Yeah.
You mentioned that ticking clock scene or whatever. Marty blames Doc for being late for school because his clocks are ahead or behind, whatever. Marty's wearing a watch. He's got a digital watch on. You're to blame, dude.
Yeah. The holes Nick has in Back to the Future.
It's wild the things that are going through your head versus my head.
Plus, also, we know Marty's just blaming him though because he gets there and he's apparently always late to school.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm surprised I'm not obese
tardy.
at this point living with this kid because he's on that 23-year-old diet. You know what I'm saying, Prano? We're like Back to the Future ends, and we got chocolate sitting around, and frozen pizza, and chicken fingers.
With a spicy garlic sauce.
And I was about to add garlic sauce. That's some good spicy garlic sauce, by the way. It's really good, and it will destroy your butthole. That's why I need more toilet paper.
Good question from Yardley in the comments. Would you get the coronavirus if your team was guaranteed a championship?
100%.
Yeah. It's not even a question.
See, I don't know if I would.
I mean, but see,
he's paranoid. See, he's bought into the hysteria.
No, here's why. If I knew my team was guaranteed a championship.
Talk to me about your team. When you hear your team, what team is that?
Ooh, good question. I mean, like, so it would be the Steelers, but I've already had a couple Steelers Super Bowls in my life,
Right.
and if I knew my team was going to win the Super Bowl, it would take away the excitement from it. No.
Well, I mean, sure. This is like a, it is a bit of like a flawed question. Yes, I understand that, but like in some sort of theoretical world where you get the coronavirus and it means you're basically, would you go through everything you know about the coronavirus, seemingly unrelated, but in actuality fully related? Your team, you get the joy of your team winning a championship.
So I don't know
Yes.
that my team is, but I'm guaranteed that they are. In that case, I would.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's the
I
thing.
would get the virus.
I understand. There's no joy in selling your soul to the devil and being like, oh, my team won because I went through the coronavirus and I knew it was going to happen. There's no joy in going like, okay, now let's just see how it plays out, right? But if after your team wins a championship, somebody goes, it's because you got the coronavirus, you'd be like, totally worth it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
Totally. For me, I agree. Like you said, you've been through a couple Steelers championships. For me, the first thing that popped in my mind was the New York Mets, the New York Knicks.
yeah.
Yeah. Rudy Gobert was sick for a day. Yeah, I'm taking it.
Jazz,
I've had
finals.
hangovers. I've had hangovers that literally lasted longer than Rudy Gobert's coronavirus symptoms.
Yeah,
Facts. Significantly longer.
sure. Yeah.
I've 100% been closer to death from drinking alcohol than Rudy Gobert was from the coronavirus.
I really got to take a leak. Can we wrap this up?
Sure. Rick Pitino is going to coach again. Let's do some rapid fire. Rick Pitino to Iona. I mean, Rick Pitino, slick Rick.
Smart move.
Rick Pitino was like, I feel like he had the like a specific coronavirus case number on his like calendar. Like he's like, when there's 2,000 cases, I'm announcing I'm returning to college basketball.
Yeah.
Slick Rick.
Like it was trending for a minute.
Yeah.
And nobody cared.
No one cared.
They're like, the world's on fire. No one cared that he had an entire, actually multiple scandals.
Kind of fun. Iona, right outside New York. He'll be able to recruit New York. A lot of good basketball in New York. Like
They're like a small conference.
small conference, yeah, but like they could be like. I mean, I know I don't want to give Rick Pitino too much credit, but he's a pretty goddamn good recruiter and college basketball coach. They could be like the Wichita State. Like they could go through a little run there.
The Loyola.
Yeah.
He needs to find it.
Yeah, I don't even mean
do you
Loyola had one run. I think they could be like a mid-major little power.
Do you think Rick Pitino is gonna try to hire nuns to run a prostitution ring?
Wouldn't be surprised.
He's like, naughty sister Jean.
Trevor Bauer held a wiffle ball game. He put out these tweets.
I love this.
About the thing. I loved it in theory. I hated it in execution. He was talking about having a sandlot game. Why didn't they play a baseball game? He put it out there like he was going to play a baseball game.
I know.
Then he played some sort of wiffle ball game. Why didn't he play a baseball game? Why didn't he play The Sandlot was not a movie about wiffle ball.
No, I agree.
Great in theory, poor in execution. The last thing that I think we got to talk about is, I know we skipped over it, the new CBA. How do you feel about the extra game?
I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't fully read into it. I didn't see the numbers. They're going to be better compensated, but by how much?
Right.
And obviously it was a very close vote.
And with 500 people sitting it out.
And it's through 2030.
Basically, the NFL scammed the shit out of it by raising the league minimum, because the percentage of guys that we talked about in this huge free agency class, the scales in number of votes there's still drastically more guys that make low money than there is guys who make tons of money. So the NFL took advantage of guys who are making no money and the young guys who are like, hey, we're not going to test you for pot. And they were like, and that tipped the scale to get all the things they wanted. Meanwhile, the veterans, almost unanimously
Across the board.
that are on Twitter and on social media were like, y'all fucked us
Like,
hard.
This doesn't help you guys in the future.
Yeah.
And those are the guys making the money.
And those are the guys making the money. And those are the guys that are also older that know what playing 17 games means,
Yeah.
which is a lot more hits. I saw Dan Orlovsky with a tweet about how this will shorten the amount of practices they have, and that, like, in essence, the players will have 500 less full contact snaps. And then just, like, he got hammered by other, mostly guys who are not backup quarterbacks, being like, dude, full contact practice snaps are not like full contact game snaps. Like, I'll trade 500 practice snaps for one less game for sure.
No, I agree.
I hate it. I hate the extra game. I hate an odd number of games. I hate adding a team. We covered this a couple weeks ago. I hate adding bad teams to the playoffs. Knicks, Steelers with Duck Hodges have no business being in this year's playoffs. It would be a disgrace if they had been in there.
Love it.
So,
Delisandro, love it. Old Bilbo chiming in. Yeah, I don't know enough about the market.
everything you need to know is that NFL veterans hated it.
Yeah, I did see that.
And that NFL owners knew exactly what they were doing by taking advantage of the strength in numbers by catering to the needs of the larger population with the lower paid players who have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, we're going to be back Thursday.
NFL undefeated at taking advantage of its players.
They really are. And they're undefeated at just taking the media by storm. I mean, it's wild today. It's like the top trends. And
well, there's no sports going on as well. Like,
but
this would be
even if there was, the NFL would be dominant. The NFL just dominates. It's pretty remarkable. Guys, subscribe to us on YouTube. Click those notifications because who knows when we're going to be going live with all this stuff happening. And we don't have live events to cover anymore, but we might just say, hey, we're going live today. We're talking about all 3 Godfather movies. I don't know. Who knows?
Has he seen those?
I've seen the first Godfather.
That's good.
Godfather 2 is great, bro.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Oh, my God.
I haven't watched The Godfathers in a while. Every once in a while I'll catch like parts of them on AMC, but
remember I binged them last year.
Yeah. I
So
haven't
good.
watched start to finish The Godfathers in a minute.
So good. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Drop an iTunes review. You're sitting at home. Takes 2 seconds. If you're sitting next to your loved one or a sibling or a friend, grab their phone. Leave an iTunes review. I can still go to the post office.
Yeah. Wash your hands before you do, but
Yeah, wash your hands before you do it. I
I'm just
agree.
kidding.
Be safe. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Dirty Sports. And, yeah, man. Who knows? We might have to do a weekly segment. You know, I do an Andy Goes to Costco. I thought we had a great video this week. I just don't know how many times we can just cover coronavirus stuff. So Nick and I are going to have to get creative.
Well, I thought that the Andy Goes to Costco thing worked out perfectly. When the first time you did Andy Goes to Costco, I was like, that's fun. And then the second time you did, I was like, not everything's a series. You know, not everything's got legs. And then this is why I blame you for the coronavirus. Like, Andy Goes to Costco, the only way Andy Goes to Costco was ever going to be dramatic was like, there's a run on Costco? You can't get shit at Costco? I'm not sure that the coronavirus wasn't started by you just to make Andy Goes to Costco a thing. Also, do you feel absurd at all that you're out there in the hazmat Hank suit and you have nothing on your face?
No, bro. I'll tell you what. You guys don't even have the footage. Maybe we'll post this. I wore that suit. It was a rainy day in Venice. The first dudes we saw when I go to the basketball court is a couple black dudes losing their mind. They instantly get their phones out. Yo, we get pictures and videos with you. Like, people were losing their mind seeing me in that stupid outfit. I got 2 more suits coming this week. I'm just going to order them nonstop. I want to do a lot of content as Hazmat Hank and just wear the stupid suit. I love it. Nick and we're going to do content. Now, I have some family members concerned. I got a text today. They're concerned that I'm risking my life for YouTube content. But, hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Well, you're not risking your life. You're going to be fine.
I know. I agree.
But you might kill an old person.
Well, you know what? If that gets me 3 more subscribers, sorry, fam.
Follow me on Instagram at Joe Prano. Follow me on Twitter @FixYourLife. Don't go to JoePrano.com. There's nothing there for you. There is a new Joe Prano podcast, as I mentioned in the pre-roll and during the show. If you need art to consume while you're quarantined, I give you the stuff that I've consumed since I broke my knee. So check that out and subscribe to it and rate and review that too. If you've already rated and reviewed our show and you need things to rate and review, you're like, Andy, I can't rate and review. I've already rated and reviewed. Well, then fucking rate and review my show.
Nick Dale on Twitter. L is a capital I, as you all know. Thanks for tuning in, guys, in this national emergency.
I know Andy's got to pee. Do we have any good comments in there? Did we have any good anything that we really have to tackle?
You never want to end the show, do you?
No, but
I really got to piss.
So go pee. Go pee. I just peed. Go pee. Go, Andy. Go to the bathroom. I'll talk to Nick Dale.
I like to end the show.
Well, I just think with people, the way people are quarantined and all, I felt like giving the people an opportunity to chime in. We're not doing dirtball calls.
Guys, throw your questions if you're still. There's 40 people watching this right now.
Right.
Still, just throw some comments in there.
Well, Andy, is that the show? You can go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. We'll keep going.
Let's go, Joe.
Nick,
Let's do this.
I know that there's been a lot of things in the Reddit. Go to the Reddit, by the way. If you haven't gone to the Reddit, there's a Reddit page. There was some. Was it on Reddit? There's a list put out of things that you should see and things that you have seen. What is on the list? What's on the to-do after the Back to the Future franchise?
I really want to see.
What's your status of Tom Cruise's career? Have you seen most of the important things?
Yeah. Show me the money. I'm blanking on this movie right now.
Jerry Maguire.
Yes, that's my favorite Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, that's interesting.
That and the Stanley Kubrick film.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut. Correct.
That's your second favorite Tom Cruise?
Well, I'm a big Stanley Kubrick guy.
Sure.
Love Stanley Kubrick. I think he's the best director, right ahead of Christopher Nolan. So, yeah. But my next movie that I really want to see from this era is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It's my mom's favorite movie, or at least comedy. So I feel like I'd be doing her justice, and also knocking out some comedy.
Strong film, definitely worth watching. A lot of sort of the original, like a lot of movies came from the success of Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Here's a question for Brien now.
Okay.
Will you live comment the movie Tombstone?
Oh, I could do Tombstone. I've seen Tombstone enough that we could do a Tombstone Tuesday. We could do Tombstone Tuesday. Yeah, I love Tombstone. Tombstone is I don't know if it's a top 10 movie for me, but it's hovering. And we talked about it on Dirty Slides. Tombstone might be the most dude heavy movie of all time. The dude factor in Tombstone, very high. Have you seen Tombstone, Nick?
Haven't.
Ooh, see, now we're in a situation where it's like I could call it, but you haven't even seen it. I almost want to watch it with you.
Maybe we can watch it together, and then
we can
live stream
immediately
it.
watch it again.
Val
Kilmer and Tombstone.
Yes,
so good.
I've heard of this movie. One breakfast, one lunch, one dinner. You can only have those for each day for the rest of your life. What do you choose?
One breakfast, one lunch, one dinner for the rest of your life. Okay, your meals. Okay.
Breakfast, fuckboy scramble.
Okay. I'll let you do your thing here.
Lunch, I mean, you want to eat somewhat healthy, right? Something with meat in it or fish. Some sort of pasta dish with vegetables. I don't like this question. Go, Joe.
Okay.
Brekkie, I'm going scrambled eggs.
You just said brekkie, I'm going scrambled eggs. Dude, that's the type of shit that's going to get
First
me worked
of
up.
all, brekkie is fully acceptable.
No, it's not.
Scramby eggs is the weirdest phrase I've ever heard.
Brekkie?
Brekkie is a well-known...
you guys are all dorks.
Oh, yeah.
Brekkie's a well-known...
No, it's not. No one says brekkie.
Literally the entire continent of Australia says brekkie.
Of course.
Brekkie, I'm going big brekkie. Like I'm going eggs. Like I'm going like pork chops and eggs with like a pancake or a waffle on the side. Like I'm going the whole shebang. You're
gonna die.
And fresh fruit breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You go big in breakfast, then you go light lunch. I go a seared tuna salad for lunch, like a nice heavy greens with some rare tuna slid on top with like maybe a ginger wasabi kind of drizzle situation.
No,
Just like dial it down for lunch. Heavy protein with the tuna, like almost a sashimi grade tuna over my salad, and then for dinner.
chicken fingers with spicy garlic sauce from
For
Bubba
dinner,
Vola
I'm
Wings.
going surf and turf with but I'm going surf and turf with my lobster over like a spicy pasta.
I like it.
Yeah.
Lunch?
I'm going like a filet mignon with like a fra diavola pasta, buttery with the lobster over it, which is like a specialty meal at Piatto d'Oro in New York. If anybody wants to go visit a fucking hidden gem of a restaurant when restaurants reopen.
Nick's like breakfast, cheese sticks from Trader Joe's,
It's not a bad idea.
lunch.
BLA. Esther's.
My lunch, like I love doing.
Are you hearing what this kid eats?
Yeah,
He doesn't do tomatoes.
I know.
Bacon, lettuce, aioli.
Oh my god. Who's got weirder?
You can put some cheese on that too.
Hold on. Like how old how old are Mikey's kids?
Like 7 and 5, or
Okay.
8 and 6, or something. Like that.
Okay. Who's got weirder eating habits? Mikey's kids?
I think my nephew would eat a shoe if you put like barbecue sauce on it. Like,
So your nephew doesn't have as weird eating habits as Nick.
I don't think so. Can't say for sure. Mikey will have to chime in on that, but I haven't seen the kid turn down a lot.
How does it make you feel that a 7-year-old?
That's totally fine. I don't care. Yeah, I eat like a child. So what?
When are you gonna grow out of this? I'm concerned.
I don't know. I still eat healthy here and there. I mean, you got me on this whole salad thing.
I'm trying.
Yeah. Like, it's not like my eating habit's a problem.
We have one more that we can wrap this up on.
If you could franchise tag an old lady friend for one more lay, who is it and why?
And that's our show. That's the Dirty Sports Podcast.
It's been fun, guys. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. We'll be here Thursday. It's been fun. Stick around with us, guys. We're going to quarantine and chill together as one giant dirtball family. And most importantly, while you're at home, ready for the world to end, don't forget, stay dirty.
Now, Andy, are we gonna stay live on YouTube for the post show like we talked about?
No, let's end it. I got shit to do.
Oh, okay.
Love you guys.
See ya.